He's Nick.
Welcome to the RevLimter.
And today we're driving the 2000s BMW Z4. Yeah, so the biggest thing I noticed is the ride quality in this car.
What about it?
It just is so tight. Everything is like, you feel everything through the steering wheel, the suspension, every bump, crack.
Yes.
And which is weird in a BMW. You're used to the luxury.
Yeah, I feel like the Z4 was more the raw driving experience rather than, hey, let's make it really pretty and nice sounding and looking.
It's definitely the Roadster. I mean, that's its job, is to be a driver's car. And I think it does it pretty well, especially with its tight handling in the corners.
Yeah, it's really tight, the feels and how it drives and rides. It shifts really quickly, you know, you've almost got no time.
Its throttle response is very well.
Really fast, yeah.
I will say it's a little bit down on power from what you would expect.
But not as bad as a Miata.
No, definitely not as bad as a 94 Miata.
Yeah, you've still got some power in the high revs and the high
up top. Up top, there's a lot of nice power. And again, just in those corners,
you can feel it.
You feel every little turn, every bump, every corner, and it just is stuck in them. It's very, very nice.
You can definitely feel where your car is at all times. You're not going to lose it in the corners or in the straights.
Where'd it go?
Where's it going?
Where's it going?
Yeah.
And there's not any understeer, and there's not a lot of oversteer. The only time I would think this car would have understeer is in the rain or in bad quality roads.
No, and it rides a little rougher. I mean, obviously, again, you can feel the suspension as it moves. But again, when you're on the track, that's a nice feature.
Once it loads up, it's in there.
Yeah, you really dig into those corners.
Yeah.
So you can feel it for sure.
It knows where it's going at all times, like you said earlier. It doesn't swing out at all.
No.
Good on throttle, all that. This BMW model, this Z4, is what year is it?
2008.
2008, all right. This 2008 BMW Z4
2.5 liter.
The 2.5 liter inline, which is the smaller of the two motors. Revs up to 6,500. And what horsepower and torque are we looking at?
We're looking at about 175 horsepower, 169 foot-pounds of torque, and a top speed of 142 miles an hour.
That's no slouch, though, especially back in 2008.
Yeah, we're keeping the power, especially, along with the track capabilities. It's got a Roadster feel for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like the road experience, the interior is really raw, and it keeps everything to a minimalist state, and so it's like you can't really get distracted from the road. You're really stuck in this kind of
You got a giant tack, you got the speedometer, you've got the temperatures, and you got your fuel, and that's about all you get. There's no infotainment system like the newer cars. It's pretty much bare bones, like you said earlier. There's not a ton in here, and that's good. You don't need all that.
No.
All you need is a radio.
Yeah.
And that's and some aircon.
And it's definitely nice for the interior. It's got these nice, like, kind of
the padded bolsters,
side padding, so that when your passenger starts flopping around, you know, you can catch yourself.
This is definitely a track toy. That's how I would explain it. Cause just now when I was going up there, I felt the front end just slip a little bit through the steering.
Oh yeah.
Because I could feel it load up on the back tires and lose a little grip in the front. Because we were going up that hill.
Oh, okay.
So it was. I mean, it's very commutative. I mean, I love the thing. It's pretty great. There's not a lot of complaints. If you want a Roadster and you don't want a Miata because you want a little bit more power, this is the car to go with. One extra complaint, other than just like a little bit lacking in power, is that this clutch is so unbelievably heavy.
Very.
It is like you got to push real hard and then immediately lets go, just snaps.
Yes.
It's pretty insane.
And this car likes gas. If you don't give it enough gas, you're going to stall more than once.
Yeah.
He stalled it.
How do you feel about the steering?
The steering?
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
It's communicative.
It feels tight. Like a little too tight for me.
Tight?
Like if you move one way or the other, it just goes. I guess I've never had a car like that before.
Yeah.
I've always had steering that's really...
It's definitely in there. Like, it's not... As soon as you move the steering wheel, the body loads up immediately. And that's actually, like, really good. It holds itself in very high regards with the suspension. Its brakes are good. The suspension is great. And comparative, like, to today's BRZs, this handles... The GR86, the BRZs, this handles pretty good. Doesn't perform near as well, but it's there with the turning.
it definitely keeps...
Straight line speed is not there, but
No.
the cornering is there.
Yeah, it's got your cornering capabilities for sure. Especially with it being so small and agile. I can only see so much.
The gearbox, just getting up through here, is so tight. It's so nice. It's almost a Honda gearbox. It's comparatively to like a 325i and other things I've driven that are, BMW, they're loose. They're very squishy gearboxes. So, I mean, I've never been in an M3 or anything like that, but the 325i's and 2 Series that I've driven have all been pretty loose.
And everything in here feels tight.
Oh, yeah.
The steering to the throttle to the gearbox, it's all tight.
Exactly. So what do you think? It's a little low to the ground. No, I really think it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
It's definitely a nice roadster. It fits well in the BMW community, and it definitely has a nice charm to it.
Yeah, I think it is got some of the best. I originally didn't like the looks. Yeah, that's for sure. I just kind of thought it looked a little different, but I've gotten used to the lines in it. Because look at this line right here that falls through the A pillar all the way up. Right here.
At first it felt a little long. It felt like the front had a little too much to it, and the back didn't have
Oh yeah,
enough.
the front is like 10 times longer.
Yes.
It's basically 50 to the front and 50 to the rest. But that kind of helps with the balancing of the car anyways.
It does. It feels a lot more to the ground. And of course it is, like you said, low. I mean, it's just, 6 inches off the ground?
Yeah.
Not far.
It's low. The motor is behind the front axle, so it is sort of a mid-engine car in the technical term.
But yeah, it definitely feels balanced. It feels right. It feels like a nice car. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think overall?
I think overall, if I were to put it on my Roadsters list of Roadsters that I've driven, being only one other Roadster, I'd say this one's on top.
Yeah?
I think this one's better.
It definitely keeps power well. It definitely has the looks.
It has more power than the Miatas feel. It just drives and feels almost identical to the we're not talking about powered brakes. But overall, I think the power, the brakes, and the weight distribution are just that much better than that of a Miata. You kind of have the same feeling?
Yeah, I definitely think it fits right there in that Miata kind of realm. I definitely think it does have some power over it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see and do our own research on it.
Yeah.
But I think it has its...
Get a Miata out here. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right.
So
I think it works.
I think that does its job as a Roadster. I don't know. What would you say a final out of 10 rating
Out
would
of
be?
10?
Yeah.
I think it's definitely got a solid passing grade.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it something in the realm of maybe a
8?
7, maybe an 8.
Yeah, an 8. 7.5. Okay. We'll see. You say 7, I say 8.
It
7.5.
definitely passes its job.
Yeah. It does its job and it does it well. It's not perfect.
No.
It doesn't have. If it had just much more power. If this was an M car, I'm sure it would be legitimately perfect. But since it's not, since it's the 2.5 liter, a little bit down on power, we're gonna have to give it that 7.5.
Yeah, of course.
I agree with that. Well, there you have it, folks. The BMW Z4 is a no-nonsense roadster that puts complete trust in its driver, even accounting for its lacking straight-line performance. With its sleek design and impeccable handling, I believe this bullet to be an underrated masterpiece in the world of sports cars. It combines classic roadster charm with its modern take on engineering excellence, making it a joy to drive and a beauty to behold. I hope you viewers can also come to appreciate its true value. Thanks for sticking around, and remember, a red line a day keeps the carbon deposits away. If you would like for us to review your car, please contact us via the email provided in the description. We greatly appreciate your support and are always eager to explore new automotive experiences. Your feedback and engagement will help us to continue bringing you in-depth and entertaining content. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more exciting reviews and car content.